Hey guys, so I'm about to get a little gully with you, but I just wanted to talk to the haters out there because I meet people and they look at me and they're like, why do you have that? And why are you doing this? And why does she get that and I don't? Okay, let's talk about that. And I'm gonna be ruthless because this is my channel, and if you know, I don't give a fuck. So, how it works is this. Are you gonna sit there and read a book a week? I used to read a book a day because are you going to sit there and read a book a week to expand your horizons so that you can get out of your little pond and actually see the world and understand what's going on? If not, don't talk to me. This is why you don't have what I have. Are you going to go to college, graduate, do all 4 years, get the loans that you have to get because your parents aren't helping you, right? Wanting to quit your senior year, but being like, I'm almost there at the finish line, let me just do this and get your 4-year degree. Are you going to do that? Because all you need to do is get the loan. Are you going to do that? And I'm still paying off my loans. Don't talk to me. Are you gonna sit there and instead of watching dumb stuff on YouTube, watch National Geographic, watch the History Channel, sit there and watch cartoons like Dr. Stone, which is a fascinating cartoon, but it teaches you a lot. Are you gonna sit there and choose to watch things that enrich your mind and your soul and teach you more things? Or are you gonna sit there and watch the dumb stuff and laugh and be like, ha ha ha, and then look at other people and wonder why they have what you don't have? Then don't talk to me. Are you going to sit there and look at other people and see what they have and be like, I want that? Instead of wanting it, go and think, what do I need to do to get that? What are they doing that I'm not doing? And then do that? Then don't talk to me. Are you going to study and get your real estate license? Then don't talk to me. Are you going to study and get your life insurance license? Then don't talk to me. Are you going to study and get your notary public license? Then don't talk to me, because everything I did, you can do. Anything I can do, you can do. My mom always said, if they can do it, you can do it. And I believed it and I did it. So I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, what else? Well, when money wasn't coming in and I saw that the highest paying job was assembling furniture, mounting TVs, and putting up shelves, I watched 24 hours of YouTube videos. I went to Home Depot and I bought the basic kit that I needed to buy. Basic drill, hammer drill, screwdriver. I had some stuff around the house, you know what I mean? And I used that. And I learned to build furniture, mount TVs, put up shelves. Why? Because I needed the money. And that's what was paying right away. And if I start with any other life insurance company or whatever, you got to go through the training and blah, blah, blah. No, I needed money now. I became a task rabbit. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do things like that? When I didn't want to work because I had back pain, I started organizing. And I became a professional organizer. So now people hire me to organize their homes, to help them pick different things out. You know, do a little bit of interior decorating. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to organize? Are you willing to go outside your box? Are you willing to take what it is that you do and turn it into a business? I have so much to share with the world. So I wrote a book. It's getting published soon. I wanted it to get published sooner. I didn't have the money. I finally got it, right? Because I worked my butt off. And now it's taking a lot longer than I thought. Are you willing to sit down and write a book? Put it all together, edit it, buy the Grammarly software, let that edit the book for you before you send it to the editor? Are you willing to do that? Because you can do it. We all have stories. You can do it. I'm writing 6 other books. What makes me special? Nothing. The difference between me and you is that I just do it. I don't sit there and make excuses. I don't think, how can I do this? I have a friend who's staying with me, and she's just watching me do stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm leaving in October to go around the world and film a documentary, visiting 13 to 17 different countries. I've already had 2 interviews. I went to Sedona to interview somebody, and then I couldn't interview somebody else because they didn't have the time, so I just did the Zoom interview. Now I'm trying to get some other, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. I'm like, okay, well, I need to make interviews. Okay, I need to record it. Okay, and I'm figuring it out as I go along. Does that make me better than you? No. So don't sit there, and it's not for you people. It's for, I'm speaking to somebody specifically. Don't sit there and throw shade at me and be like, why does she have? I have what I have because I work harder than you. I have what I have because I work harder than most people. If I want a Louis Vuitton bag, which I don't want a Louis Vuitton bag because I don't really like Louis Vuitton anymore. I don't like brands that everybody has. But let's say I want a Chanel bag, which I really don't want right now either. But I will buy one once my book gets published if I earn it. Because I have like if I make this much money, I'm going to buy myself this bag. That's an example. I want the bag. What do I need to do? Well, I don't want to just buy it. I don't want to work my butt off and pay $5,000 for a bag. I need to make $100,000 to justify the $5,000 purchase, right? This is how my brain works. So I'm letting you in. Don't be like, why? Now you know why. Listen. Stop being judgmental. Listen, right? So I'm like, okay, if I want to justify a $5,000 bag, I need to make $100,000 in revenue. I wrote this book. I'm praying, hoping, putting into the universe that I create $100,000 worth of revenue so I can reward myself for writing the book and I can buy the Chanel boy bag that I want with the gold brass kind of like material in the caviar leather. That's what I want. But I'm not going to just go out there and take $5,000 of my money that I work so hard for a bag. I have to justify it. I have to earn it. It has to be a ratio of like, okay, I made 100,000. So that means I can pay my bills and take care of what I have to take care of and blah, 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 blah. And now I can have the bag because that's what makes sense to me. If I find out that there's a trip and they're going to Greece and the trip costs $2,000, I'm going to work my butt off on TaskRabbit, working as many hours as I need to, because the only way you're going to make extra money from your 9-to-5 job is if you have something on the side, right? And now I'm learning how to make other forms of income, which I will share with you guys. I have no problem. This is what this channel is about. I've been saying I'm going to do this for quite some time, and now I'm doing it. And I'm going to find different ways of making passive income because I don't want to have to be there to make the money. I just want the money to come in. And this is the time. We don't know how long we're going to have this opportunity, right? So I don't just sit there and I'm like, do. I'm not lustful. I see people, they spend, I watch people. What are you spending your time on? Trying to get girls, sleeping with different people, going online, playing mind games with people, working because you think that you're going to make more money, but the amount of money that you make per hour times that by however many hours you could possibly work does not justify what you need. You need more than what your job can offer you. So you have to find a different way to create income. And it's not working more hours at your job. Okay, become a TaskRabbit, work freelance, put that on top of your job. Don't leave your job for TaskRabbit unless you're making a lot more money. You know, because TaskRabbit's not guaranteed that you're going to keep getting that number of jobs. They give you a lot of jobs, you know, and then they kind of cut it off, and then they give you jobs, and then they cut it off. And I don't know, it's something about their algorithm. It's the algorithm. Yeah, whatever. What are you willing to do that's legal to make the money you need? I learned to build websites. I build my own websites. Are you willing to do that? I sat there for like 3 days watching WordPress videos to learn how to build websites. Now I'm using different softwares because I watch those videos. You know what I mean? Like, are you willing to do that? Because if you're not, don't get mad at me for having what you don't have. And I don't have a lot. I have more than most people, but I don't have a lot. You know what I mean? Well, it's not true. But still, you know, but why do I have it and you don't? That's why. We live in the information age and the misinformation age, if you want to be honest. And you have the opportunity to go on YouTube and learn any skill you want. You can go on Coursera and learn any skill you want. You know, you can go on all of these, Udemy, UDEMY, and learn any skill you want. You can learn how to build contracts, you know, smart contracts for crypto. You can learn how to build websites. You can make yourself invaluable and then go and apply for these jobs. You can do that, but you don't. That's not my fault. Don't get mad at me because I do the work. Don't get mad at me because I'm willing to not drown myself in other people's problems. I have friends that all they do is, oh my God, do you know what just happened? Oh, I just heard this from this person. I don't sit and gossip. I don't care. Those are I have my own problem. I have a lot of problems, you guys. I have my own problems. I do not need to be ingesting and doing. I will give you a solution. If you don't take the solution, I gotta go. If you're talking to me because you want advice, I will give you the advice. If you don't take it, that's on you. But if you're talking to me because you just want to emotionally dump on someone, I am not the one. Go pay a therapist. I am not that friend anymore. I used to be that friend for years. I wasted years of my life listening to people. Meanwhile, I could have get paid for it. So I became a relationship coach, a life coach. So now if you want me to listen, you need to pay me. You need to pay me my rate. I'll give you a discounted rate, but I'm not sitting here listening to your problems for free anymore. No, not unless you're in my inner circle, and my inner circle is tiny. It used to be big, it's tiny right now. Tiny. And it's going to stay that way because the more success I find, the less people I want to share it with. Okay, I have my plan of when I do my documentary and the money comes in, I am going to buy land to give to people who are suffering from climate change and like really, climate refugees, look it up. And I want to help a lot of people. I'm going to do the scholarship fund, the cartoon, the summer camp, all of these things. I have it in my heart to help people. But for all the people around me that I have been watching, that I have been giving advice to, that I called at midnight and I was like, buy this crypto, and they didn't do it, I'm not giving you anything that I earned from that crypto because you didn't listen when I told you. When I told you to go and learn how to do this, come with me on a job, let me teach you and train you so you could do it too. No, I don't want to do that. Then don't do that. Don't look at me and be like, why do you have it? Because I offered to help you. I said, come with me on the job. Let me teach you. Now I don't have the time to teach you. Now everybody wants to come to me and be like, Mayra, can you help me? No, I can't, because when I had the time and I was willing to teach you, you didn't want the help. That's not how help works. When it presents itself, it's an opportunity. You take the opportunity and you run with it. That's the difference between me and you. I see an opportunity, I take it and I go with it. Does it always lead to success? No, but I have something else in my arsenal that I can use in the future if I need, because I learned a new skill. Challenge yourself to learn something new. You don't have to be your job. You are not your job. You are you. What do you want to learn? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? Figure it out. You love music? Make music. You can self-publish. You can go on iTunes and put your music and have people buy it. You could do that. You can put it on YouTube. You can send it to social influencers and then have them dance to it and then have people Shazam it and then buy your song. There are so many avenues. We live in the information and misinformation age. So you need to decipher what is information and what is misinformation, and you need to make the choices that are best for you. But do not sit there and be envious. Do not sit there and be jealous. And for God's sake, do not steal from people because you don't have what you want and you want what they have. You work and you earn what you want. You work for it and you earn it. There is no reason that anybody on this planet that has access to the internet cannot do great things. There's people that don't even have access to the internet. They don't even have access to the basic things that make us who we are, and they end up creating empires and doing it because they have a drive. Wake that up in you. What is killing you? What is draining your energy? What is sucking the life out of you? What is it? What are you spending your time on? Video games? Unless you're getting paid to play video games, which I think is fascinating. How do people do that? But they get paid to play video games and people watch them play video games. Do that. If you like to smoke weed, well, make a YouTube channel of you talking, and maybe other pot smokers are going to come on there and laugh and be with, but you can't smoke weed on YouTube anymore. I think that's what Jeffree Star was saying. Look at Jeffree Star. Look at how he started. There is no reason for you not to be successful. There's no reason for you not to accomplish anything. Don't use your children as a crutch. Don't use your husband as a crutch. Don't use your job as a crutch. Don't use your parents as a crutch. Don't use your friends, your family, your living situation. Nothing is a crutch anymore. It is fair game for everyone. You just got to find the avenue that works for you. So don't look at me and be like, why? That's why. Because I did more than the average person is willing to do. Therefore, when I need money, I'm not like, oh, well, I have to sit there all day and get a rental at the real estate office. If that's not working for me, I'll go build furniture for someone. I'll go do, a life insurance contract, which I have to renew my life insurance, so I can't do that anymore. But I'm deciding, I don't know if I want to do it because I really don't love life insurance. It's not my passion. I love this. I love the documentary. So I love film. I love dance. I love people. I love talking to people. So I'm making a career out of it because that's what I want. I was like, I'm not happy doing anything else. This is what, so am I going to be successful? I have no fucking clue, but I'm taking a risk and I'm taking a leap of faith, and I'm hoping that the universe and the people that see me and really care about me, support me, and like donate 5, 10, 15, whatever you can donate. If you have a company that matches your donation, donate, have your company match it. Like, help a sister out. Because when I'm there, I can't do real estate. I'm going to be overseas. I can't do real estate. I can't do life insurance. I can't build and assemble furniture because I don't have my tools because it's too heavy to carry. You can't take those tools on the plane anyway. It's like a process. So I have to find different ways of creating revenue. I'm hoping that with the book, I'll be able to promote the book and get some revenue from that. I'm hoping that the way that I structure, which I still have to figure out, this documentary, I could sell stuff from the documentary and create revenue. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just kind of winging it. But that's why, because I take a risk. Without risking my income, without risking what I already have, I add to what I have. And yes, part of it is because I'm perpetually single and I don't have someone taking my time and energy. When you're in a relationship, it's different. You're committed. When you have children, it's different. Your time is taken and different. But then you need to find time. When you're sitting in bed and you're tired, you can be doing research. And yes, you're good. It's lack of sleep, but that's what you do because you need to. Especially if you have children and a husband, that should be your motivation. Or a wife, to want to do more and be more and show them that you don't just sit there and take what life gives you. You take what you need and you want by going out there and pursuing it, not by stealing it or robbing someone or deceiving someone or and don't focus on the negativity. Like, I know a lot of the things that I'm learning from these documentaries, I already know. That's why I started doing it, because I know it, but I realize that people that are around me, they don't know these basic principles of life. What you feed is what will grow. Repeat that. What you feed is what will grow. So if you're feeding into the betterment of you, you will grow. If you're feeding into a future for yourself, that future will grow. If you're feeding into lust and sex and drugs and alcohol and wasting time, then that's what you're gonna have. Wasted time, a disease, a baby, 7 babies. What are you feeding into? There's nothing wrong with having a bunch of kids. I want 5. You know what I mean? I have no problem adopting them at this point, because I don't know if I want to give birth or if I can. So what do you want? I'm not going to sit there and cry, I can't be a mom and I don't care. I want children. It doesn't matter if they're mine or not. I'll adopt. I don't make excuses. And I don't live in that energy of, woe is me, why is this happening? Does that happen? Yeah, I do cry in my room. You see my videos, I cry, why do I love him and blah, blah, blah. I'm a human being. I have the emotional human experience as well. But what I've learned is, I looked back at my life and I said, wow, I spent 6 years pining over a dude who went on and lived his life. That was a waste of time in life. Now, mind you, I was also, doing all this other stuff, making money, traveling the world, going to 24 countries. It's not like I stopped my life, but I could have been in a relationship with someone else if I had just learned to let go quicker. If I had just learned not to feed the pain, to experience the pain and go through it and understand it, but not to feed it so much that it took so many years of my life. And now when things like this happen, yes, I hurt, I cry for a few days, and then I let go because I understand there is nothing I can do to change the outcome. I've learned that, and I learned it early in life, and then for some reason I got stuck twice, back to back, on in the same type of man, 2 different situations. And then I realized, wow, pattern of behavior. Stay away from this type of man. Mission accomplished. Lesson learned. Moving on. And it's not that easy because you have to go through the feelings. But what are you feeding? And I'm just telling you this because that was my greatest distraction from achieving everything I needed to achieve, was pining and spending all this time crying in my bedroom over missed opportunities, over a guy who was just literally lying and manipulating my heart and my mind. And I fell for it because my innocent, pure soul couldn't understand how that could happen and how a human being could behave that way, because I still don't understand. But I understand that they're out there. People are out there. The Native Americans, I'm giving you some insight on my documentary, the Indigenous documentary. Check it out. I'm going to leave in October, and you're going to start seeing more about it in October of this year, 2021. www.theindigenousdocumentary.com. Yes, I will always plug that into every video that I do. Is which wolf are you feeding? You've heard this, right? It's the Native American parable of one person fed. There are 2 wolves inside every person, and they're always fighting. One is, and use whatever words you want. One is greed and lust and envy, jealousy, rage, disappointment. The other one is joy, happiness, prosper, success, love, whatever you want to say, right? And then the child goes, well, Grandpa, which wolf wins? And she goes, whichever one you feed. What are you feeding? I fed myself, clearly. But I fed myself. I fed my curiosity. I fed my desire to see the world. I fed my hunger for knowledge. I fed learning how to do my hair. I'm still learning how to do my hair. This curly thing is not easy. You guys, if you've watched my videos, I've been doing this channel since what, 2014, 2013, 14, I think. What is that, 7 years? And I've been on a 7-year curly journey, and just now I'm starting to get the curls that I was trying to get from the first year. Not even easy. Like, it looks messy, but you see curl definition finally. I could finally get my hair to poof. It would just stay flat. So now I got it to actually finally have, you know, but it's not where I want it to be, but whatever. I fed that. I didn't feed it all day, every day, 24/7. Like, a lot of people say you have to focus on one thing. And if you focus on one thing and you dedicate 10,000 hours to that one thing, you'll become an expert and you can be successful at that thing. That's true for some people. Everybody's formula is different because everybody's ability to process information is different. Everybody's ability to act on that information is different. Everybody's hand-eye coordination, process, it's all different. We all have different skills. We're not all meant to be the same. That's why you're supposed to be part of a village, part of a tribe. I have this, you have that. Together, we are a force to be reckoned with, right? So what I'm saying to all the naysayers and the haters, when they see that I have nice things and I'm doing all the, why does she get to do that? Because of the choices I made. Why do you have what you have? Because of the choices you make. Why don't you have what you want? Or because of the choices you make. Are you happy in love? No? Well, then make different choices that lead to happiness. Is your partner happy? If they're not happy and that makes you miserable, then try to make your partner happy so that they can make you happy. Or you need to leave that situation. You know, but be mindful and aware of what's going on. Are you happy at your job? Does it pay really well? I mean, like, there's some people that have been at their jobs for 20 years. They're making great money. If they leave, they're not going to make that money again. That's understandable. But if you don't love your job, have a hobby or something that you do outside of your job that makes you happy. Balance. You can't just work and not have a balance that makes you happy. You have to have a balanced life. And maybe I am the way I am because I have a balanced life. I relax a lot. I don't have a lot of stress. The only stress I have is stress that people put on me by giving me their problems, talking to me, coming into my life, and then by their energy being here, it creates problems for me. So that's why I keep people very far away. I'm like, no. You just walked into my life and I already started having problems. You need to go, and you need to understand that that is their energy affecting your life. If things aren't going well for you, sometimes you need to cut people off because it's not you or your energy. It's the fact that you're hanging out with someone who brings that chaos and that energy into your life. You might love the person to pieces, but the moment they come into your life, bad things happen. That you can't be around that person, no matter how much you love them, unless you're willing to go through it. And guess what? That's not your karma, it's their karma, and their karma is affecting your life. Gotta get out of my fucking house. You gotta get out of my life. I'm sorry. Gotta walk, like, I gotta do what I gotta do because you gotta protect yourself. Who's gonna protect you? Other than your parents, if they're good parents, because there's some bad parents out there. You gotta protect you. Live a balanced life. So what am I saying? If you want what I have, then you have to have more skills. You have to live a balanced life. You have to spoil yourself because, like, if I don't feel good, I go get a massage. Or I go to the spa and I get a facial and I get like a body wrap and I treat myself the way that I want to be treated because I can't guarantee that the guy that I'm with, trust me, the guy that I'm with didn't do shit. Oh, he did a lot the last one, but not that. Like, he didn't pay for my spa treatments. He didn't pay for my hair or my nails or any of that. I had to do that for myself, but I wasn't angry or hated him for not doing it. I did it for myself because it's what I wanted. You know, maybe one day I'll meet someone that's like, here's a gift certificate, go treat yourself. That would be nice. That would be really nice, actually. That would make me cry. To meet a guy that's like, let me take care of you. But that's not where I'm at in life. Maybe I just put it into the universe. You know, it would be nice to meet someone that actually takes care of me instead of brings me all of their problems because I'm the problem solver. And then once I fix all their problems, they go and do whatever they do, which causes the demise of the relationship. You know, maybe I should have just let them sit in their problems. But that's personal. And you just learned about it. So you see, my life isn't perfect. So What are you feeding? What are you doing? We're all human. I'm just showing you that I am human and I'm not perfect and I have problems, and it's just how I choose to cope and deal with those problems. Do I cry? Yeah. Am I sad? Yeah. Are some of these problems really big and you need like money or legal help? Or yeah. But I don't sit there and go, I don't know what to do. I go on the internet and I search. And when I search, I don't just search for one thing. One thing I am is a super researcher. I will find anything within seconds that it takes you days or hours to find. Super researcher. And it just comes with practice. So I'm having this legal issue. What do? Look up that legal issue, how to solve that legal issue, read 10 to 15 articles on it. You can't just read the first one and be like, oh, okay. There's a lot of misinformation out there. You're looking for the information that's out there, that there's more information that corroborates it than doesn't. But even then, there's a lot of misinformation that corroborates the misinformation. You also have to use your common sense and your logic. And then sometimes you have to talk to people that know and then get their information, and then they will confirm whether it's information or misinformation. You don't need to know everything. You don't have to be a lawyer, but you should know one. You don't have to be a doctor, but you should know one. You don't have to be a cop, but you should know one. You don't have to be a judge, but you should know one. You don't have to be a CEO, but it's nice to know one. You don't have to be a photographer or an artist or this, but you know what? In your circle, you should have a variety of people that can help you when you have a question. You don't have to be a teacher, you should know one. I'm not saying they should be your bet. You should know one. Someone that you can call and be like, hey, I have a question. And then they answer it because they're nice. And then you can go on your merry way knowing, well, that's the information that they corroborated the information I found, and therefore I can move on and take this step. That's how life works. That's how I've lived my life. There's people that are way beyond me. I'm just one person. This is just my story. It may not be for you. You may be beyond me. You know what I mean? But if you have people that are not where you are and you don't have the time to coach and train them, because everybody coaches and trains at the level that they're at. Because to coach and train somebody from the level that they're at is too much, send them to me and then I'll send them to you. We'll have this thing, right? We can coordinate. It's corroborate, but coordinate always reminds me of the dad from Boomerang. Look, mushroom shirt, matches the mushroom belt. Gotta coordinate, you gotta watch it. It's my favorite scene. Maybe I'll put the link for it underneath. Every time I say coordinate, I always think of that movie. Cracks me up. See, little things like that bring me joy. I choose to have joy in my life. I feed the joy monster. I don't feed the anger, frustration monster. Does the anger, frustration monster come out? All the fucking time. But then I'm like, I don't want to be angry and frustrated. Let me put some music on because that makes me happy. Let me dance because that makes me happy. Let me open up a YouTube video that cracks me up because, that makes me happy. And then, but I don't sit there for 5 hours. I mean, sometimes I do. But I don't sit there for 5 hours watching YouTube videos that crack me up. I have certain movies that I know lift my spirit. And whenever I'm feeling as down, when I hit rock bottom or close to rock bottom, I know that when I watch these movies, they bring me joy. They're my personal movies. For me, it's Happy Feet, Kung Fu Panda, The Man in the Iron Mask with Leonardo DiCaprio, Mulan, the Disney cartoon, The Princess Bride, Overboard with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, Shawshank Redemption, Patch Adams. It just depends on what I'm going through. So I watch the movie to lift my spirits depending on the situation. And then it helps, because these are people, at the end, it's always somebody who was the underdog that ends up proving that they are worthy and they are better than, and that they were underestimated, and those are the movies that inspire me. And I tell you, after watching maybe I brainwash myself, but after watching those movies, I feel like I can take on the world, and then I feel motivated. That works for me. It may not work for you, and for you it might be a song. There's certain songs that I play over and over that, I don't know, when I'm doing research or when I'm doing a job or when I'm building a website, I have this one song. It's from the soundtrack Dope, the movie, and I just listen to it over and over and over again, like on repeat, and it just motivates me. I don't know why, because I did it one time and it just stuck. There's nothing in the lyrics that are motivating. Well, part of it, but not really. There's other songs, but that's what works for me. Find what works for you. Find the triggers of joy. And then when somebody triggers the other things, the other beast, understand what those triggers are and try to make it so that you don't get triggered by it. That you're like, oh, this person's trying to push my buttons. Well, I'm too tired to get angry right now, so I'm just going to walk away from this situation, or I'm going to sit there and get her, can we talk about this in like 20 minutes? And then you're going to calm yourself down and do whatever you got to do and come back and continue the conversation. But don't dismiss the person, because that causes more problems. Don't dismiss the situation like you're not going to talk about it at all. Don't, like, when it pops up again, start fighting. You have to deal with it. Because when you deal with things, you don't have to deal with them again. The reason a lot of people are stressed and anxious is because they start things and they don't finish it. Because they don't want to deal with it. But if you deal with it and you finish it, you don't have to deal with it ever again. That's what makes me happy. Now, at this point in my life, I'm going back to every single thing I didn't finish it, and I'm finishing it. Every book I started writing, I'm finishing it. Every book I started reading, I'm finishing it. Every video I started watching and I bookmarked, I'm watching it. Everything that I needed to do, I'm doing it. At 42. Does that mean you should do that? You do whatever you want. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm telling you what works for me and what I've been doing. And it's up to you if you want to try any of this stuff, or if you want to be like, this crazy bitch, bing, and turn it off. I don't care what you do, because I don't know who you are. I don't know you. You don't know me. But the person I'm talking to knows exactly who I'm talking to. So, stop hating and start doing, because I know that person ain't doing nothing. All they do is complain and get pulled into gossip, and then just, it takes 30 hours to run one errand when it takes like the average person like 2 minutes, because they just ask the wrong questions and they just waste time, and they have these meaningless conversations with random people, that they don't need to. But if it works for them, it works for them. Sometimes these random conversations with people allow you to get in the door quicker next time, or give you the information you need. So don't dismiss the random encounters, because you never know who you're going to meet, where that's going to lead, how that's going to happen. Everything happens for a reason, in my opinion, so I can't dismiss that. But there's a way that you can still have that conversation and not spend an hour when you can spend 15 minutes and then keep it moving. You know what I mean? So it's just time management. Like, for me, time is a huge issue. I value my time more than anything in the world. And I don't want to waste it on dumb stuff or dumb people or dumb conversations or things I don't need to put in my body or my mind. You have to be careful of what you feed yourself. What information are you feeding yourself? What energy are you surrounding yourself with? That's really important. Like, there's some people that cause you agita, but you love them more than anything. So you have to communicate with them. You can't just cut off certain people, their family, you know what I mean? Or their friend, like whatever. But you got to know how much time to spend with them. Like, I love you. I'll spend 15 minutes with you, maybe 30 minutes, maybe half a day, maybe a holiday or whatever. But I can't spend more than that, because it's going to affect my energy, who I am, who I'm trying to be, who I'm growing into. People outgrow friends and family. I've outgrown a lot of people, and they've outgrown me. But every so often you can meet in the middle for a day, have a reconciliation, and then move on. It is what it is. So it's the balance of friendship, the balance of family, the balance of work, the balance of life, the balance of knowledge, the balance of, figure out what your balance. I figured mine out, and I'm happy with where I am in life and what I'm doing. For the first time in a long time, I'm extremely happy, but I had to cut a lot of people out to be this happy. And there's people I wanted to take with me. Like my ex-boyfriend, we're supposed to be doing this together. He's supposed to be coming with me on this trip. We're supposed to be having children and a family, and but he makes choices that affect the relationship in a negative way, and those choices hurt the relationship so much. And then when it came time to heal, he wasn't willing to he was willing to hurt the relationship, but he wasn't willing to put in the work to heal the relationship. And I can't work with someone who's not willing to work with me. You hurt me, but now you're not willing to fix it? You did this, but now you're not willing to fix it? I can't be in a situation like that. And then you're constantly lying. And I catch the lies. And then you're ashamed and you're angry that you got caught, and you're mad at me for catching you for doing something you shouldn't be doing. I had to remove myself from, that's crazy. I had to remove myself from all of that. And when I did, the documentary came, finishing the book came, finding my peace came, going to Sedona to find myself came. All of the, because I removed the chaotic negative energy. I hung out with that dude one day and all the chaos came back. One day. 6 hours. That's how strong energy is. Be careful who you spend your time with. Watch the people you spend your time with, and when you prosper and have a good time, and other people that cause you pain or whatever. Not even, you could be having a good time with your friend, but still stuff goes wrong in your life. Why? It's their energy that's, I can't explain it, but that's what it is. And sometimes you need to cut that person off. Even though you love having fun with them, you have a great, they're not good for you. So that's another reason that some people are more successful than others. There's so many factors, I can't go into it. It's already 35 minutes. But this is what you do. So when you look at me, don't come and talk to me and be like, why did you spend over 150 hours researching crypto and different types of cryptos and watching videos and learning what's good, what's bad, losing money on transactions because you didn't know what the hell you were doing, and now you know what you're doing, so you made a video to help other people so that they don't lose their money? Did you do that? Then don't come talk to me. I do a lot of research. I learn a lot. I deserve everything that I get, all of it, good and bad. What do you deserve? What are you doing? Why don't you have what you want? Whose fault? No, it's nobody's fault. Go get it, learn, go train. You want to be a musician? Do a free internship at a studio with a producer. Learn. Sometimes you got to give up your time to get the knowledge. Nobody paid me to sit there and watch those videos. I did that on my own. I invested my own time in myself, and then I generated income. You could do it. Be a tarot card reader. Those people make a lot of money. You don't know what to do with your life? Go watch some tarot card readings. Go get you might be inviting spirits and energies into your home that you don't know how to handle. So you got to know how to clear your space, clear yourself. Just giving you forewarning. It's crazy. If you don't know what you're doing, do all the readings outside, because you don't want to bring that energy in your house. But they make a lot of money. These people make like 6 figures or more a year just in, private readings, donations, extended views. Like, I was looking at it, but I'm very sensitive to energy. I really want to do tarot card readings, but I can't, because I don't want to invite spirits into my energy field that I don't know how to get rid of. So I'm not doing that. But you make a lot of money doing tarot card readings. I've been watching them and I'm like, wow, these people make a lot of money. They make like $500 in one live reading. I'm like, $500 in an hour? That's crazy. Plus they do private readings outside of that. Plus they get donations. Girl. Anyway, boy. But there's ways. There's so many different ways. You see all these YouTube commercials. Sell on Amazon. Do this, do that. Just find you. What works for you? What's your niche? But don't get bamboozled either. Be careful. Use your discernment. People will take advantage of you. I know. So there's the documentary. I just want to say this for the people that are like me. They say that I asked a guy, Ben Sorrell, which is the vice president or the president, I'm so sorry if I didn't say it right, of the Navajo Nation Museum in Arizona. He's one of the people I interviewed. And I asked him about, what are your views on good and evil, and how do you protect yourself from evil? And he said they're very real. And it's the same story about the wolf. Which one are you feeding? He's like, but there has to be a balance, because if you're too bad, you know what I mean? You end up hurting people and causing pain to others and causing pain to yourself, and like a whole bunch of stuff that he said about the bad side. He's like, but if you're too good, and that was me, he's like, then you get taken advantage of and you get taken for granted. You're too kind, you're too nice, you're too giving, and people see that and they feed off of it. And then, you get hurt. And so there has to be a balance of being good, but knowing that there's evil out there, and knowing how to protect yourself, because knowledge is power. knowing that this person that I'm interacting with is not a good person. Therefore, I need to remove myself from the situation so that I can have the peace that I need. Unless this person is willing to do the work and we can grow together, I have to move away. This person's trying to take advantage of me. I need to go. Gotta go. See you later. You know, and then go surround yourself with more people like you that are kind and giving and sweet. So I heard that, and I've always known that, but he said it. He's like, you become gullible, naive, you know, and everybody, like my mom said that when she talked to my ex-boyfriend. She said, she's too nice. She's too trusting. She's a little gullible. She's a little naive. That's exactly what my mom said right in front of me, because we're a really honest family. I can't be with anybody whose family is like, we don't talk about that. We don't say that. Oh no. You know, and then they cover things and put it under the rug. Like, no, we are like, here's our garbage. Now let's go through it and fix it. And then we fix it, and then we grow as a family and we prosper because we're always learning. We never stop learning, and we share the knowledge. So she was saying that, and she's like, if you want to be with her, you better protect her. You better love her. You better take care of her. Because my mom is the mom and the dad, right? So she had the dad talk with my boyfriend in front of me, ex-boyfriend, sorry. And he didn't listen. He took advantage and took me for granted, and, you know, took my kindness for weakness, and did whatever he wanted to do because he thought I would always be there, because I love so hard and I love so deeply. And I'm saying that for people like me that are out there watching this. You have to know when to walk away, because people take advantage of you. And this last time I saw him, he lied to my face. And I went and I trusted my intuition, and I found out the truth. And then I looked and I said, he's still a liar. And I moved on. I did cry for 24 hours. But then after that, it's like, okay, you can't put any more time in this because you got to really focus on your documentary. You're leaving in 2 months. You got to start planning how you're going to put all your stuff in storage and what you're going to do and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Then reality hit. And it's like, I had to put and I said it, you got to put your big girl panties on and you got to do what you got to do. I'm not infallible. I have problems. But I don't let it take over my life where it hinders my success. Does that make sense? So if you're asking how, that's how. We all have problems that you can't let it hinder your success. I've had people that I've worked for that their kids were in the hospital. There are certain people that are like, I have to go, my kid's in the hospital, and they stop everything. And I get that. But that person was like, they're in the hospital. There's nothing I could do. I'm in a meeting. This is going to generate $1.8 million. Am I going to stop the meeting to go see my kid that's already in the hospital under the care of doctors? Like, they're not dying. They just broke their arm, or they broke their leg, or they scraped their knee, or, you know, I'll be there after the meeting. And I learned that well, sometimes you got to finish your job before you go handle something else. You know, but I see some people, and everything is about their children. They're supposed to go hang out with a friend who, if they hung out with that friend for dinner, the friend would have connected them to someone that would have connected them to someone that would have changed their whole life. But they cancel the dinner because their kid has a cold. Well, is your husband going to be home? Yeah, but my kid needs their mom. Okay, well, you just lost an opportunity that would have given you and your child a better life because you're making excuses. That's when teamwork comes in. Let your husband handle it. You got a sister, you got a cousin, you got your mom. Can somebody watch the kid while you go to this meeting that might actually be beneficial for you? And even if it isn't, you're just getting some you time so you can relax. No, you gotta make excuses. Oh, the kid's gotta go to bed. Oh, the kid this. Oh, the kid that. Excuses, excuses, excuses. That's why you need a village and a community so that you can have a life. Let the kid learn from their aunt or their uncle or their cousin or their best friend. Sometimes just go send them to their best friend's house so they can have a sleepover, and then you can have a night out. And then they sleep over your house so that your other mom can have a night out. You know, there's too many excuses. You know, and sometimes people use their kids because they don't want to deal with it. They're like, you know what, I'm just going to use the kid. That's fine, because you're trusting your intuition. You don't want to go. So now you're making an excuse. That's fine. My mom always said, if you don't want to do something, blame me. And I did. My mom said I can't go. Oh, I'm not allowed. You know, because in my heart, it didn't feel right. That's different. Do the same thing, you know. But then as I got older, I realized that's a lie, you know. But I understood the lesson that, like, if your intuition is telling you not to do something, do it. It was the fear of telling the person that I didn't want to do it. Now I just communicate, and I'm like, and I have a feeling I shouldn't go. And I'm just honest. And they're like, all right, you know? Or it's like, yeah, I'll stop by, I'll drop you a present, but I'm not going to stay. I just have a bad feeling or whatever. And people get it because they get me, you know? So trust yourself, trust your intuition. Your intuition will put you in the situation that you need to be in to have the success. Maybe that's why I'm successful, because I listen to myself. A lot of people don't listen to themselves. They turn that voice off, and then they go with what's taught to them. They go with the logical versus the illogical. And sometimes that voice that you hear is you taking all the knowledge that you've acquired and processing it and saying, this is the best, you know, this is the best answer. Turn right here, eat this, don't eat that, do that, you know. And then you don't listen because people are like, no, try it, and then you try it and you get sick. Meanwhile, your intuition was like, don't eat that, and you did it anyway because you listened to external forces. I never listen to external forces. I process the information and I'm like, oh, okay, and I may not listen to them that time, but then the next scenario happens, they're not around, but their feedback is part of the reason why I made my decision the second time. Does that make sense? So yes, I listen to everything and everybody, but I don't necessarily do what everybody tells me to do. Which is what I'm telling you, don't do what I do. Don't even listen to me. I'm just sharing what works for me and what doesn't work for me. Like, I am not a guru. I'm not an influencer. I am just a girl who loves to talk and share, because that's how I learned. I learned from other people talking and sharing. And not everybody gets to have these conversations. That's what the documentary is. I have fascinating conversations with people, so why not share it with the world? Every time I tell people, they're like, that's interesting, what else? And I'm like, let me just put it on video so everyone can see it. But I think that's it. Just, it's a lot. Process it. It's learning more, making time, trusting your intuition, balancing your life, doing things that make you happy, finding your joy triggers versus your pain triggers, not spending too much time on the pain, but enough time so that you're healing. You have to heal from pain. If you don't heal from pain, it will destroy every relationship you have afterward, friendship, work, whatever. Like, you have to heal. Healing means that you are at peace with it. And it takes a while to get at peace with some things, but that you're at peace with it and that you can move on without carrying the hate and the anger. And that's a whole nother video and a whole nother process. But I've done that many times in my life, you know. And then making sure all your chakras are balanced. Again, that's another video, but you can research that. And not denying yourself anything. I don't deny myself anything. If I want a pizza, I get a pizza. If I want to buy those shoes, I buy those shoes. If I want to get that pocketbook, I work, I make the money, I get the pocketbook. If I want to go on that trip, I work, I make the money, I go on the trip. Even if I go by myself, I'll go on a group trip, but I'll go by myself because I don't have anyone to go with me. I don't need somebody to do it. I go to the movies by myself. I go out to dinner by myself. I go to the library by myself. I do whatever I gotta do by myself, because if I don't, I'm never gonna live. I'm never gonna live. I'm always gonna be home waiting for someone to hang out with. I don't have time. I'm not codependent at all. I have no codependency with anything or anybody. Thank God. Because I see these people and they're just miserable in these codependent relationships, and they go from one to the other, to the other, to the other. And then they're just miserable because they don't know how to be happy alone. But I'm going to shut up now. So, yeah. That was another babbling moment by Myra on Let Me School You. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.